collaboration, security, data center, and networking. This is IT in the Bay. All right, we are back, and I'm here with my man, Dustin Kaplan. He probably can't even believe what just happened.
I can't.
I'm so glad you're here.
Was that you on the turntables? It's very good.
Well, it was a voice synthesizer that you just heard.
Wow.
Well, so thanks for being here today.
Thanks, buddy.
To chat. And today we're going to talk a little bit about video collaboration. Anything else that comes up? You've recently done some cloud collaboration recently, right?
We did, yeah. So just not too long ago, we just went through the WebEx cloud calling, training, I guess what you would call it. Yeah. The Jedi Academy, where we learn the secrets of
what's coming.
Of what's coming, yeah.
And what may not come.
Yeah. It's
the features, the functionality, and the gaps.
Yes.
Cool. Well, so before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about Dustin, the history of Dustin. Like, so how did you get into IT? What brought you into IT? Did you fall into it?
I had a summer internship is how I originally got into it. And my boss famously told me that nobody picks... No, he said, Dustin, nobody picks to work in IT. Most people just end up there. And I thought it was like...
that's the best quote I've ever heard.
He was like very, very dry about it. And I thought it was really funny. And I just thought the stuff the other guys were working on was way cooler than what I was working on. I think I paid the phone bill and made coffee and I had the lowest of duties.
Yeah.
And, talked my way through my first interview after my internship ended and got the job and worked hard there, and then got in at the next place, and so on and so forth until I got it, and then I got here.
Tell me about the internship. Like, so you really didn't do anything, because we have interns here, right? And they do all kinds of miscellaneous stuff. But what did you do as an intern? What did you do? Anything technical, like IT related?
I think my biggest technical thing I did was I changed toners for the CEO. His printer was out of toner one morning, and I ran up there eagerly and changed it.
You saved the day.
I saved the day.
What was it? Was it one of those the spinny kind of printer cartridge, or was it an ink cartridge?
It was a big HP LaserJet, and it had those big
the toner. It was a toner.
It was a toner.
Oh yeah.
This is not amateur inkjet hours.
This is big. This is big time. Big iron.
Big iron, my friend.
Do you remember what it was? If it was a inkjet or what is it?
HP LaserJet. Oh man, I don't remember which one it was. I know
it's okay.
Was
it one of those cream colored ones
Yes.
that had the little and had the button to push? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Soothing beige color.
Oh yeah, that was good.
It just told you anything you send to me, I'm gonna print.
No problem. 300 DPI without a doubt.
This building could fall down. You could plug that thing back in. It would still print. They were built like tanks.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you did the internship. Did you ever do help desk?
I did. I was at the help desk for a long time.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
What was the worst part of help desk?
What was the worst part of help desk? I think it was just the repetition was the worst part of help desk. It's someone would call, they would have an issue, you would figure it out, you would tell them, here's the solution, and here's how to not ever have it happen again.
Yeah.
And they call you 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
The same problem.
You're
we
just talked about that.
It's like my life now. It's like having a child.
Yeah.
You just explain the same things over and over again.
Yeah. What's that? It's the washing machine.
So don't put your feet on the table.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's never going to change. It's not going to. Well, at least not for a little while.
Yeah.
So with help desk, is there one of the things, because I did help desk too when I started my career. I think anybody that's good in IT had to do it.
They served a long stint in the trenches of help desk.
Yeah.
That's my quick what do you want to call it? The yardstick for telling who I'm talking. Get a little information. Oh, what'd you do? I was in the help desk for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've definitely been in the trenches, the front lines.
Have a seat.
Let's chat. Well, I think there you learn some valuable skills, like not taking things for granted. You you ask all these questions, because somebody will tell you what they're trying to do. They won't tell you, they'll tell you what they're trying to do. They won't tell you what the problem is in front of them. So as an example, one of the things that I I remember a lot of was working help desk, and I basically got the call and they said, hey, I can't get to my email. So I'm like, great. Do you think you know where this is going?
No, but
I can't get my email. And then you're like, okay, cool. So when you open up Outlook, I can't even see it. You know, can't see it.
Is it on? Did you turn
Yeah. Well,
I'm not in front of my computer.
Pretty close.
But usually when I'm there.
Pretty close. So it's like, I just see a login screen. And you're like, oh, you can't log in. Yeah, I can't get to my email. Okay. You're locked out. So you can't log in, you know, and so you reset their password and they're good to go. Oh, okay, I can get it now. So anyway.
One of my favorites of that, we had a user, she really nice lady. She came by.
They're always nice.
She was really nice. She came by. She brought her laptop by on, like, I don't know, Friday night. She was an out-of-towner, so she was going to leave that Friday night to fly back home. She brought us the laptop, and she said it randomly just blue screens sometimes. We were baffled. Rebuilt it that weekend. Rebuilt it. Got her a new laptop Monday morning. 2 weeks later, she came back. Blue screens again. I can't figure this out.
Yeah.
It keeps like she keeps killing machines over and over again.
Serial machine killer.
Oh yeah. So we finally asked, like, you know, can you show me, like, how are you shutting it down? How do you? She goes, oh, you just hold the power button until it turns off, and then that's how I just turn it off. I do that a couple times a day. Really? You can't
hard. She's just hard crushing it. Yeah.
Every time. So
yeah. Did you ever spend much time, like, in the DOS days, or no? Was that like
that was
before your
past
era?
my time? Yeah. My first organization that I really, like, worked on desktops at was we had one. I think it was all, like, we were past 95. We were at, like,
okay,
probably like 2000.
Yeah. I remember when you had to type, like, there was this app called Park, and you'd type Park, and what it did is it parked the hard drive heads. Like, it just
really,
yeah.
They didn't automatically ramp themselves.
Well, I don't know. I think it was like, you know how when you're an IT geek, you're like everything. You're like park, unmount. You know, you're just doing everything before you shut down. You're like,
you had that power bar with all the orange lights below.
Oh yeah. Lee and I talked about that too. The power bar. It's like everybody knows it.
And the red master switch.
Oh
at the end.
yeah, it felt so good. You know, I would never turn the master switch off. I'd do one by one. I'd be like,
yes,
and then the master. Yeah, it felt like you were a part of, like, a Death Star or something.
Yes, you were shutting down the plane.
Yeah.
Pre-flight.
Yeah, exactly. Well, cool. So you did the help desk deal. You've seen some user stuff. You got into, you know, as you progressed in your career, you probably did some system stuff, and then.
That's how I got to voice.
Yeah.
So I had done help desk for like 5 or 6 years at one organization, not even counting the time I had put in before that, and I got just tired. I was like, I need something new and something else, and so nobody wanted to do voice. And so actually, they had a bad upgrade from call manager 5 to call manager 7, I think.
Yeah,
from like 4 or 5 to 7.
Yeah.
And after that weekend, like, it had gone totally sideways, and nobody wanted to do voice anymore. And I was like, you know,
was that the conversion from Windows to Linux?
Our 7 still ran on Windows.
Okay.
But after that, I think it's Linux after that.
Yeah, I couldn't remember when
I can't remember. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. But it went from the Windows. I remember, like, there was, like, this love-hate, like, because in the Windows thing, you could do all the SQL stuff and all that. Yeah.
Unity was great on Windows. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Voicemails would get orphaned. They would pile up in this folder. You could go in there and, like, fix it.
Yeah. Fix it. Yeah. That's awesome. So you got into voice, and then just been there ever since.
Yeah, I kind of became the voice guy after that. And I remember my first deployment with LookingPoint. Another engineer here who came to do our deployment.
Oh yeah, because you were a customer, right?
We were. Yeah.
You were.
That's how I got here. You know how I got here.
Yeah. You were money train.
I was the money train. I actually went to lunch with the engineer who did our voice deployment, and I was asking him, like, what's it like to be a consultant? I was genuinely interested, and I think he thought that I was looking for an interview.
Oh.
And so when he called, I was really surprised. I'm like, do you really want to talk to me? Really?
That's so funny.
Are you sure?
Oh, that's great. And then you came here, and you've been here through, I don't know,
6 years now.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy how fast that's been?
Time goes by.
I remember interviewing in your office and being like so nervous.
Yeah. And remember how small our office was compared to like, it was like an office. It was an office.
It was literally an office.
Yeah. And we got the back that we're thinking about holing out, you know? It's so funny. And then you did managed services, and you did some projects, and you did a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. ProServe was eye-opening.
Yeah.
That's a whole
a whole different ball game.
Whole different animal.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of saw both sides. You saw the deployment, and now support, and yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's the thing you like best around? I don't know. Pick anything. Which technology are you kind of like? Obviously, you know a lot about voice, but is there one piece of the voice technology that you like, or video, or what is it?
I think video is probably the most exciting at this point, just because it's becoming so pervasive.
Yeah.
It's not just reserved just for room systems anymore. You can light up the camera on your phone on WebEx, and the video meeting is now anywhere you are.
Right.
I saw the WebEx app just got updated to work on CarPlay.
Yeah.
So you can fire it up on CarPlay. I have no idea if video works on it yet, but
yeah, it's in your pocket. Yeah. I don't know which camera does it use. I mean, I wonder if cars will get cameras in them.
I have to imagine that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be where do they heads up display? Do the people show? Yeah.
Where would it go?
Yeah, don't know.
It'd be cool if they put it in the instrument cluster.
It would be.
Yeah.
But it'd be kind of that up nose shot.
Yeah,
could be kind of weird.
Down below.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with video, a lot of the AI stuff is coming to video.
The AI stuff should be really cool if it all happens in the way that it's been kind of roadmapped out.
Right.
Especially with the being able to look in the room, not just tell how many participants in the room, although I think that's interesting from a metric standpoint, especially if you're a business that's cost conscious about the real estate. You have a lot of real estate. You're wondering, is it being used? Are these conference rooms even being used? Those metrics are actually very interesting.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have to renew the lease on this floor. Nobody uses the conference rooms. And furthermore, we can assume that, not a lot of people are using the hoteling options at the desk, or, whatever the case may be.
Right.
The real interesting stuff will start to be as the rooms start to recognize the people in the room by facial recognition based on your photo from Active Directory or another source.
Yeah, and I was thinking about speech recognition too. Like if because some people are saying that it's gonna do speech recognition, and then you get a notes of the meeting, and so then all the meeting content can be read, that kind of thing.
Transcription based on speech recognition.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
If it actually comes to fruition.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it works well.
Yeah.
Because that'd be kind of weird. You start reading it, and you're like, oh, the helicopter landed in the,
Right.
Yeah. But if it's done right, then those meetings can be used as search, or if you could somehow take bullet points out or something.
A text record of that meeting is wildly valuable, especially, just think about it from even our own use case internally. You do a project kickoff, and, we want to know who said they were going to be responsible for that. Hey, we could look back, and the meeting notes have it.
Yeah, or even just being able to use keywords like, oh, that's an action item, and then it goes back and can determine where was the start of the sentence. Okay, that was an action item. Let's, action items. That'd be so cool. So then nobody has to take notes. We just talk. Oh, that'll be an action item. Boop, it's on there.
And it emails everybody at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
How great would that be, based on the participants that were there?
Right, because it recognized them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really, really cool. And I don't think it's that far off.
I don't think so either. I think it's actually a lot closer than you think.
Yeah. And well, have you seen some of the the holodeck kind of where it shows people shows them physically? Where do you think that'll go?
I'm hoping that continues to evolve as well, because what a cool concept. Now you don't even have to hang TVs are nearly useless at that point, except for content projection.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think we had the 3D headsets, or are they called 3D hollow?
Like the augmented reality.
Yeah, like Oculus
reality.
Or any of those screens that you wear on your face. I don't goggles, I guess. What do you give me the name? What name am I looking for?
We're going with goggles.
Goggles. The goggles with the screens on them. What?
The headset?
What? VR. Is it VR?
Yeah, the headset.
Yeah, the VR. Headset. Is it called a headset?
I think it's called a headset.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually would like to see, with WebEx becoming so prevalent, we've talked for a long time about, WebEx, or was it formerly Spark, had that demo of VR,
right?
Like the VR meeting space.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that actually come to fruition, where, digital real estate, the remote employee, you have kind of your digital office, where
right?
You can see the people in your office that are online with a virtual headset, and you have a meeting with their avatar or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. Like I would love to see that come to fruition.
Yeah.
How cool would that be? Like, I'm going to work, just put my VR headset on and
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities to it because you have endless real estate essentially at that point. Like in terms of visual, you could have a computer pull up and you could pull other things in, and it just seems like it would be very cool.
your chat interface is just a pane that hangs out there in space.
Yeah, you could almost like turn in your office and see your chat pane and like tap it or something. All those cool things. And then the question is, what does it do to your eyes when you're sitting there staring at a refresh screen and you're
so close to your face all day?
Yeah.
Big questions. No one knows yet.
Yeah. It's kind
bridges to cross when we get there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the things, I just saw a demo of the Meraki cameras. They have these fisheye views, and then they use the Oculus headset, and you can actually look around in real time. Like,
wow.
And it was kind of weird, but also kind of cool.
It reminds me of a demo I saw of, I think it was BASF has a headset for pilots.
Oh.
I don't know if it was conceptual or if it was actually in production.
Right.
But the demo was basically the pilot has a headset on and he could look down through the bottom of the plane.
Oh.
And the cameras would show him what was happening. Like just as naturally as you or I would look down at the floor, you could see through the bottom of the plane.
And see, so some of that, because when it becomes that real or that good, your brain, even though consciously that it's not, but you start
I'm
to
not really looking through the floor.
Yeah, but
you're
then
really looking
through the floor. Yeah, and you're like, oh, how's that possible?
Yeah.
Like because you see all those videos of people like looking at a car and then they whoop, they fall over or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I did an Intel demo. They had it at like live, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, where you put on the headset and it just takes you on like a rails, just a tour on rails.
Right.
One of the parts of the tour is you fly through the clouds and it approaches a city, and then the camera pans down and you drop from the clouds through. And I watched people, like person after person, almost fall over
just
or grab
like,
onto something, instinctually, like, oh no, I'm falling.
Yeah.
Great fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, just a complete shift of like, I'm really falling. That sensation of really falling.
Yeah.
You're standing perfect. You're like my feet are perfectly still on the floor.
Yeah. Because if you think back to even 10 years ago, when did the iPhone come out? It was like in the
2003.
Yeah, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
2003. And so really what is that? It's a little over.
No, after that. I'm sorry. It was 2006. I think,
yeah, I thought it was like 2005, 2006 ish. Yeah. So anyway, close enough. Between 12 and 15 years ago. And how much technology has changed since the first iPhone to today. And then, there's bandwidth and all those things that have come. What's going to be the next thing? And
I think people have wondered that a long time from Apple. I mean, their innovations were so large.
Yeah.
And, the innovations were so, I don't even know what to say. It's, their innovations were so big and so like groundbreaking. Like the first time you saw FaceTime, which video calling had been around for a long time, but the fact that it was so seamless and just worked so well was kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And then, people I think it's going to be very hard for them to just keep innovating and coming up. But it makes you still wonder. I mean, that's the magic of Apple, right? What are they going to come up with next?
Right.
It's going to completely wow me.
Yeah. Or it could just be the next startup. I mean, but when I think about like just the innovation that we've had in the last 10 to 12 years and the next 10 to 12 years, when you start to see these new technologies like VR, and then like the holographic type conferencing, it's like as bandwidth starts improving and the technology, one technology leads to the next. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just interesting.
Exciting possibilities.
Yeah. So back to the current times. You did this cloud training on really what's now WebEx calling. And a lot of customers are looking at making a transition to the cloud. And we've done videos on it and all that stuff. What do you think the biggest challenge will be for customers as they move to cloud around voice?
I think just the migration itself, the usability of it is virtually the same from their standpoint as and they're currently on registered on-premise call manager implementations.
Yeah.
The the biggest change, which they likely will never feel,
The user
will never
Yeah,
experience,
yeah.
is just the initial migration to the platform.
Right.
That's the only thing that really takes a little legwork at this point, and
Yeah.
that process will get streamlined more and more and get more efficient.
And what you're talking about there is just the taking of the configuration of what they have today.
Yeah.
And bringing it into okay, got it.
Yeah.
And so as we've done a lot with video in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's, what is that considered? Is that that's still like WebEx calling, I guess, in a way, but it's more video endpoint registration.
Yeah. Video endpoint registration. They wouldn't call that like video as a service, but it's endpoint registration.
Yeah.
It's still calling as a
it's
service.
like the control registration.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I've noticed is the amount of enhancements that's come through that, and how you can get enhancements quicker.
Yeah. The process to request enhancements much easier
Mm-hmm.
than I don't even know what the path to request enhancements was for on-prem
Right.
prior to this. I mean, I think maybe you just call TAC and open a case.
Yeah.
Now there's a bot. You just open it. I've done it before. You just open a enhancement request with the bot, and eventually they get back to you and say, "Hey, we're putting it into production. You'll be the first to try it." Yeah.
Wow,
I've had that on a few of them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
The path to enhancement with cloud is for stuff. I'm always surprised by the features that they bring out.
Yeah.
Where you'd see it and you're like, oh, I don't even know that I would have thought of that, but it's great that it's here right now, and I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the path to enhancement is actually even possible with cloud, and they're pretty good about looking at what you're suggesting and actually prioritizing it if it is a good idea.
Yeah, if it makes sense and
Mm-hmm.
it aligns to the overall strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that you did, I guess it was a couple years ago now, when we made that shop bot. Well, you actually made the shop bot, but like that process really displayed kind of how APIs are really creating abilities to bring things into that are in the digital world and integrate them with what's in the physical world.
Yeah.
And so you want to talk a little bit about the shop bot?
The shop bot's still on my desk.
Yeah.
And it's still super cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had a video of it. So the shop bot was basically an off-the-shelf kit by an online company whose name escapes me, but
Yeah.
we'll find it. We'll add it in post.
Yeah. Put it in post.
We'll put it in post.
Yeah.
And so I found it. It's basically just two pumps. The original idea for it was we were going to send it to, was it Enterprise Connect?
Yeah, Enterprise Connect.
Enterprise Connect. And so my original idea was that we had these two Nalgene bottles that fit inside of a specifically sized Coleman cooler. I did like all these measurements.
Yeah.
And I plumbed the Nalgene bottles with like a bulkhead and a fitting.
Yeah.
And then you could fill it with liquor.
Yeah.
You could put them inside this case, and the cooler, you set them inside there, and you could set the ShotBot inside of it, close the lid, and the whole thing was like ready to travel. All you had to do was just box it up, and it was ready to go.
Oh, that'd be
so
cool.
I remember the day I got it like all configured and all ready to go, and like I boxed it up, and I was so proud. And I sat there and I looked at it, and I'm like, they're gonna take this to the airport and X-ray it, and it looks like a bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks identical, like these two liquid containers and this controller
Yeah,
contraption and
there was
hoses.
no way they were going to let that on the plane.
No, there's no way.
Yeah. They're like, explain to me what this is. It's a shop bot. Yeah.
It's a shop. It pours liquor based on commands you put in a chat room. It's very clever.
And they're like,
sure it does.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure we'll put this on a plane.
We're going to put you on the next room over here. Yeah.
Step into this room.
Yeah, I remember that. And then, because I was trying to remember, why didn't we take it? Now that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I found the cooler the other day, and it has the frame in it, and I'm like, what? Oh, I remember
The
now.
shot bom.
The shot bomb. I forgot about this.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So yeah, the shot bot's cool though, and it's there's a lot of stuff that's come out since then.
Right.
A lot of other services. We used
Thinger, I think.
we used
Thinger.io.
Thinger, which like is now in like production. They're out of. When we used it, it was still in beta, and I
Right.
think they're like in full production mode now.
Yeah.
They actually went live, and good for them. They make it's a great platform.
Yeah.
And we used Built.io as well, which
Yeah.
is another great platform.
Yeah, and they all kind of tied together, and essentially we took a device that's now on the internet and controlled it from, it was Spark at the time, but now it's WebEx Teams.
Yeah.
Essentially Teams, a message on Teams fires an API, and
Yeah, the message on Teams fired the API to Built.io. Built.io looked at the content of each message to determine which there were two ways it could fire. It
Right.
would pump from the first one or pump from the second container.
Right.
And it examined the contents of each message looking for a keyword. It was
Yeah.
wildly inefficient, but
Yeah.
pretty good for like up all night.
Yeah, it
Getting going.
was one of those like, quick projects that just to see, and I think it was a great idea.
It was cool.
It was pretty cool to see, and actually a lot of people followed up with it, with like looking at it, going, "Hey, how did you guys do that?" All of those things. So that was that was great. When you think back to, I guess just thinking about all the technology that you've implemented over the last, I don't know, 6 years. There's been some great projects, as well as some projects that were challenging. Like, I mean, I know, as part of the early WebEx calling stuff, we had challenges with different technologies and things like that because we went through the betas. But now it seems like the cloud technology is getting really, really good. There's still things that on-premise does really well. I mean, Call Manager's been around forever, but it seems like cloud voice and video, the capabilities there are pretty close. We're getting 85 to 90% of the core functionality, maybe even 100% of the core functionality.
Yeah, I would say
available in cloud.
Just for comparison against on-premise, on-premise use cases versus the cloud, the feature parity is, for the majority of use cases, 75 to 80% of the customers, at least by the time I talk to them, are ready to go. It's there. It's right. The features are there.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a reason to not go cloud.
Yeah. If you were looking at going cloud, let's say, and you were comparing, you're trying to decide, hey, I've got an on-premise call manager and I want to move to cloud, or I'm considering cloud, what would you be thinking about as a customer out there?
Customer, I want to make sure that my endpoints were up to date to take advantage of all the features that were available to me, especially the video units. The Room OS is very good these days, and more features every day.
And I guess that's a good point, because sometimes if you have old phones, you're going to need to refresh those because they aren't going to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Endpoints, I take a look at what features I was really using.
Yeah.
Call Manager is fantastic because there's so much in there. A lot of customers use, a very small percentage of it, which isn't bad, but at the same time, you're not using it.
Yeah.
Do you really need it?
Yeah.
I would say, the case for migrating online is, or migrating to cloud is definitely, it's a very strong play at this point.
Yeah.
And it gets you so close as far as the feature functionality of what you currently have. Tough to stay on premise unless you've really got a specific use case for it. You've tied in with other applications that maybe aren't ready yet, and even that feature, that gap is closing.
Yeah, especially with the API integration stuff, you can find ways around it, or you're going to be changing workflows like in the past, like we had to customize workflows from an old way to a new way. Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess I think we're kind of coming up on time here, but we do have something that we do in every show. Okay. That when we end. And I've messed up in the past on with somebody else. I just counted to 3 and I did something. Okay. I just said it and it was kind of funny. It was like a fail. I'm like, wait, why didn't you do it? And they're like, I didn't know what to do. So I'm going to tell you what to do. Okay. So we've started this tradition where we say IT in the Bay together. Okay. As we end our little audio here. Okay. So what we do is on 3.
Are we going to sing it or are we just going to say it?
No, we're just going to, you kind of sing it. Okay. You kind of like,
I'll follow it.
Yeah. Like,
you don't groan it like that.
Kind of. Oh, no, I kind of, hey. So it's like a hey, but it's with the bay, that kind of thing. Okay. So we do it on 3. Ready?
Okay, ready.
1, 2, 3. IT in the Bay. We gotta... We always
more. I want a little bigger.
You want? Okay.
I want to.
All right, here we go.
I didn't know we were going big.
Yeah, ready?
Okay, ready.
1, 2, 3. IT in the Bay. Oh, she's cranking. In the Bay. In the Bay. Well, thanks for being here, Dustin.
Sure,
it was awesome having you here.
Thanks.
And hey, make sure you check out lookingpoint.com. Check out our blogs because Dustin's written some content. We got other people. Check out the YouTube. We got videos, unboxing. We did that unboxing. We didn't even talk about it next time.
Okay.
Next time. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we will see you on the next podcast. IT in the Bay. Peace out.
IT in the Bay.
IT in the Bay.
In the Bay. IT in the Bay.
IT in the Bay.
In the Bay. IT in the Bay.
IT in the Bay.
In the Bay.
In the Bay.
Bay.